Welcome back. This is Transparent YouTube channel, and I'm Deborah.
I'm Mason. Today we're going to talk about gender dysphoria. If you did not know, I'm transgender, female to male. Gender dysphoria is something all trans people deal with, so I thought I would talk about it and inform people that don't know about it and talk about how to deal with it for people who do have it.
We're just trying to pull from our own experiences. I'm obviously pulling from my experience as the parent of a trans boy, and Mason is coming from personal experience.
So I guess we should start the video on what gender dysphoria in particular is. So gender dysphoria is the distress a person feels due to their birth-assigned sex and gender not matching with their gender identity. And Google adds that people who experience gender dysphoria are typically transgender. So essentially it's a discomfort with your body versus your brain. So if I'm female to male, that would mean my brain is male, while my body is obviously female.
Sorry, our dog is back there. Your dog.
My dog.
That's the dictionary definition.
Right.
So what does dysphoria mean to you? Why did you want to talk about that today?
Well, again, it's something all trans people experience. I wanted to talk about it because I personally experienced it. I thought it would be helpful if I shared some of my tips of dealing with it. And for people who don't know what it is and they maybe have somebody who's trans in their life, they can better understand what the person is going through.
So I see Mason dealing with this as a parent. I can tell he's getting anxious or maybe just like a little more distant than normal. And sometimes I'll even ask, hey, you feeling really dysphoric today? And a lot of times you're like, yeah. So, I mean, how does it feel for you? How can you explain that to someone who doesn't understand?
So, obviously, the dictionary uses the word discomfort, and I think that definitely describes it pretty well. It's I don't know if it's a hatred, I guess it is, but it's, especially for a teenager, it's looking into the mirror and having something obviously not be right, because, I don't know, thinking.
Because like let's say I'm a teenager, when I was growing up, I didn't always love my body.
Right.
So how is that different, that feeling different from dysphoria in your mind?
Well, yeah, as you're growing up, and especially when going through puberty, every teen is not going to love their body every day. But there's a difference of, oh, I don't like my chest, I want it to be bigger or smaller. I don't like my stomach, I want it to be bigger or smaller, and stuff like that, which is different than my entire body doesn't fit, and neither does the way people perceive me as a person. Like, because obviously in high school you are figuring out who you are and how you fit into society and the world. And if you're struggling with something that's, I don't know, that's not a lot of teenagers struggle with. Yeah. What if I'm not like the thing I've been told I am from birth? Like, what happens if I'm not that? What does that mean? What do people see me as? And like, it's a constant worry and discomfort on how people see you, how you see yourself, what you look like, and like, I can describe it as being nude all the time, if that makes sense. Like,
being nude all the time?
Almost,
yeah.
Like being naked in public. You feel like everybody's staring at you constantly. Obviously, you weren't prepared to be nude in public, so it's just like all eyes are on you, and that you'd want to cover up. Like, you'd generally ashamed of it, and yeah, it's definitely
like you're ashamed of the way you look.
Yeah, and not like in, oh, I'm scrawny, or oh, I'm chubby, or oh, I just don't like the way my hips are like this. It's more like I hate the specific gender parts of myself. The, like a chest and genitals, obviously. And you can't fix that with like exercise or diet or clothes. You can fix it with some clothes, like a binder, but it's weird. Yeah.
Well, and I know like sometimes when you, like we'll be at home and no one else is around and you still don't feel comfortable with your binder off, even if it's just because it's not necessarily, it seems to me, correct me if I'm wrong, that it's not even how people are perceiving you, but it's how you are feeling in your body.
Yeah, definitely. It feels like the wrong skin, if that makes sense. It feels awkward and it doesn't feel comfortable. Like, I don't think I've really felt comfortable in a while. It was like, again, being nude, like it's just uncomfortable constantly. And it's not so much that I'm thinking you are going to see me differently when I'm home and not wearing a binder. It's how I see myself and how I feel. Because, like I've said, if I take the binder off, it's almost an immediate, like, full-on discomfort. And sometimes it's been worse than that, where I've had, like, panic attacks because, you know, of dysphoria and stuff. And the way my dysphoria is it makes me sick. Like, I've had weeks where I feel like I have a temperature and my stomach aches.
I've witnessed that.
Yeah, to where, like, it's like a genuine disgust almost from my body, where it's like I have a stomach ache or like I feel hot and dizzy. It's a physical reaction. So,
well, and I know this, but maybe for other people's benefit, you know, obviously you also talk to a therapist, and you know, are there? I guess maybe that can go into what do you do, and how does your therapist make the difference there between anxiety and dysphoria. Anxiety and dysmorphia.
Right. So dysmorphia, for those who don't know, is like, if I can explain it, is I hate my body because I'm too fat or too skinny, almost. Like, I hate my body because of the way it looks, not because of its gender, but because of it in general, if that makes sense. So it often gets confused. And again, teenagers, we don't love our body all the time. So, but when you're adding something like it's pretty well known now, transgender people, and so people get it confused, and they're genuinely confused. And they don't know why a binder isn't helping them with their dysmorphia, and they're sad, and they're confusing the hatred of their body for another thing. So it's definitely something you should talk to a therapist about. The therapist, there's certain ways of telling dysphoria, and again, it's different than just a hatred of your body. It's different than like anorexia and gender dysmorphia and anxiety.
So go to a therapist who has dealt with this issue and who is well versed.
Don't go to Google. Don't search.
Never Google it. They think you have cancer, no matter what's wrong.
Right.
You have cancer.
Hey, my foot kind of hurts. You're gonna die in 3 weeks. Oh, gosh.
Yeah. Don't Google it.
Don't Google it. Yeah. You know.
This is definitely something for a qualified professional to deal with.
And anxiety, I should say, it does feel like people are watching you, but I don't know if it feels like if they're watching your body. I don't have anxiety. I have friends who do have anxiety, so I'm taking from their experience. If I'm wrong, please correct me and don't quote me on this. Yeah. But it feels like they're watching them and they're like, oh, am I doing something wrong? Did I leave something? Am I not? Did I leave my bag? Is my bag open? Is my hat on weird? Are my clothes on? It's like a situation fix almost. Whereas dysphoria is, oh gosh, my binder's on. But I feel like they can tell I have a chest. They're just staring. I wore a V-neck and they can definitely see the straps of it. They're now asking if it's a tank top. Oh gosh, And of course the two can go hand in hand, but...
And, I mean, explain to me too one, it's how you feel in your own skin, and then two, it's how you're presenting to other people.
So, yeah, like, if you have a naturally deep voice, naturally broad shoulders, naturally masculine face, and people, like, passing is basically the word I'm looking for, is, like, if you dress male, which is hard because women can dress androgynously now, which is great, but men can't do that. You know what I mean? So it's almost like you have to be stereotypically masculine. Otherwise you don't pass.
Male.
And not even pass for other people, pass for yourself. Like, this sounds kind of weird, but I've, like, studied what boys my age should wear, what brands they like, what shorts they usually wear, and I don't care if it's stylish by then. I just want it to be the boys' clothes. Like,
well, I know you've said that you would like to dress a certain way, but you don't feel like you'll pass if you do.
No, because obviously, usually, without surgery and hormones, your body looks feminine. Dysphoria affects my day in a few different ways. Of course, this is my experience. I've met a few trans guys who have little to no dysphoria, and that's great for them, you know? And I don't know if mine is worse. And obviously I'm still in the early stages of passing, but anyways, just on certain days I'll wake up and it'll be there, and it's annoying. Like,
your
honestly.
dysphoria will be there.
Dysphoria will be there, yeah. And it doesn't matter if I have my binder on. It doesn't matter if I'm wearing all male clothes or whatnot. It's just kind of there. There's no, like, pleasing it, if that makes sense. So, yeah, I don't know. It affects my day as in I'm mostly unmotivated. I really don't want to go out. And I do sports. I do swimming, biking, and running. Can't wear a binder for any sports.
So you can't wear a binder while you're doing your triathlon stuff. Right.
So I either have to wear a sports bra and obviously a swimsuit, which is uncomfortable. And so some of the people on my team see me as male and some people see me as female, and I have to go in the female stall to change.
Because
quite honestly, if I have to choose between male and female, it'll more likely be violent in the male's case.
So you feel safer in the women's bathroom?
Yeah.
Is what it comes down to.
Honestly, I haven't gotten a lot of weird stares when I've gone into men's restrooms, except for when I'm maybe wearing something a bit feminine. Because I have to wait for stalls. And men's restroom stalls are not nice, because they're only used for, yeah. Anyway, but yeah, it's something that really, really affects my day, and especially my mood, motivation, and, like, at school. Like, again, they're my friends, and I know they, probably see me as a guy, but dysphoria is like, oh no, you don't pass at all. You don't. No.
It's like a voice in your head?
No,
that you hear, or?
It's myself almost. Yeah. But it's kind of like anxiety, where it's the endless thoughts of, like, they don't see you as one. They're staring at your chest. Your legs look really big when you sit down, and so on and so forth. So, yeah. It's just I guess it is. It's not unconscious thoughts. But, yeah. It definitely affects my mood and my day. It's not very fun.
So how do you have any tools that you use to, like, get through those challenging days, or?
Definitely. I really like sweaters. That's probably my biggest thing, is oversized sweaters. And I've heard this from a lot of trans people, trans men, trans women. They're great. They're very comfy. They're not form-fitting. They're very loose, I have platforms that go in my shoes for really bad days, and they make me 2 inches taller. Yeah, lifts, which you can get off of Amazon for like $10. So those are really nice.
So making yourself taller helps you when you're feeling dysphoric?
Yeah, because it's obviously, I know there are guys as tall as me, and maybe, like, obviously taller, but it's seen as more feminine, I guess, when a guy is shorter, which doesn't go together, but I obviously don't have tons of muscle mass to compensate for that.
So large sweaters and lifts in your shoes.
Yeah. And I really like listening to music. There's tons of Spotify playlists for Dysphoria and tons of albums for it.
Really?
If you just search the word Dysphoria or FTM, MTF, or Pride playlists for trans or transgender.
So what kinds of songs are on there? Like uplifting or
no? It's more of a
Okay, so what kind of songs are we talking about here?
It's more
Just Latin away from me.
It's more of a like I can relate to you song. It's like my favorite song to listen to is Dysphoria by Cape Town, which I don't know if it's if it's on their channel now, but you can find it on YouTube. It's not on Spotify, sadly. I would have it on repeat if it was. But the lyrics describe Dysphoria really, really well to me. And I like Cape Town a lot. I love their voice. I like their cat. But I don't know. It just describes it so well. And like, it's not an uplifting song. But what is uplifting is, one of the lyrics is, it's been over a year. I thought it was the end for Dysphoria. But it's been a year. That's amazing. So, I don't know.
Like it's been a year in the song?
Yeah, no, it's been a year since they've experienced Dysphoria at all.
Oh.
Which is crazy, you know. So.
It's been a year. Okay, I'm sorry. I misunderstood. So they've gone a whole year without experiencing dysphoria. And you think that would be amazing.
That sounds great. Saying. Yeah. And they obviously pass so well that many of their subscribers don't know they're trans. And that's a great place to be. Obviously, if it's a relationship, you should disclose your trans problems. But but that song is just great in general.
Cool.
And obviously, it's just I relate to it so much. I'm sure not everybody will, but it describes it perfectly for me. My last thing is probably the advice that most trans YouTubers give is that dysphoria will get better over time. Obviously, there's a bit of effort to go in with that. Things like binders, which you can get from GC2B, and a lot of people will secretly send them to you. Obviously, I don't think you should go behind your parents' backs, but if it's a matter of life and death, it's a different situation. GC2B, there are tons of Instagram and like YouTube accounts and other people you can message to get one. Clothes and haircut make a super big difference, not having long hair. And trans guys who can rock long hair, that's great. Honestly, go for it. Clothing, again, androgyny, you can just say, I'm a bit, go for a tomboy look. You can get away with it for a while. And obviously, hormones and surgery are a big step. I just got my first testosterone shot, and it's made all the difference. Cut to the video. Stabbing me in the arm.
We took a video of it, and it was the first time I ever gave a shot ever in my life. I was so nervous about not getting it in that I kind of stabbed you.
It's like a dart throwing motion. It was great. It was sore for a while.
I'm sorry. We'll do better next time.
But honestly, anytime I'm super dysphoric, I have testosterone out of the way. You know what I mean? It's not a constant concern that I need to get on it. It's I'm on it. Changes will come. I'm going to be okay. You're
hopeful.
I'm definitely more hopeful with it.
Is there anything else that you want to talk about?
No. Again, things will get better. They will. Doesn't seem like it. I know it doesn't. But there are a lot of hotlines in Nashville, and there should be one in pretty much every state. You can search them up, and they will be in the description. There are hotlines for suicide, but there are also hotlines for people just to talk to. You can say, hey, my day's been super rough. And that's their job. They talk to you. So if you don't have anyone else to open up to, or can't talk to anyone else about it, There are a ton good trans communities online. Instagram. You can ask to be in a trans chat with tons of people who will support you. So there are definitely communities out there. Internet's a great source.
All right. Well, thank you. We'll see you all next time.